Good morning, and welcome to Teach Me Bees, the professional beekeeping podcast for the United States of America. I'm your host, Dave Wescott, and I've got with me today co-host Scott the Beekeeper. Good morning, Scott.
That's right. We are incredibly professional here. We do not joke or laugh or have fun.
We don't do anything fun here. All we do is have a good time. What I'd like to talk to you about today is I'd like to talk about our sponsor, Honey for Hope. If you are interested in pollination or honey or wax or bee products, reach out to our sponsor, Honey for Hope, and they will provide any of the accessories that you may need to get started in the bee business. Once again, thank you, Honey for Hope, for being our sponsor on today's show. Today, Scott, we've got some really interesting recipes here that we are going to discuss in regard to honey.
Yeah. A couple episodes ago, we brought up the fact that we want to have some recipes for the Christmas season, the bowl games going on here
the
in
winning
college
bowl
football.
Games by the University of Washington Huskies is what
Alrighty.
we're really looking forward to today.
Right. We got to throw that one in there, don't we? But we have a lot of good recipes, some things that could be appetizers, some things that could be mains, sides, desserts, drinks, just some good stuff that all involve honey, because honey is actually very incredible.
I have a question for you. The official drink of the Oregon Ducks, is that mead?
It might be. South of the Willamette Valley. It's Wine City in the Willamette Valley, so.
I'm not even really sure what mead is.
Honey-infused wine.
Okay, I'm going back to my regular voice now. That was my radio show voice, everybody, which I use when I've got the radio show going on. Listen, what that reminded me of, have you ever seen the Batman movies?
I mean, of course, yeah.
These are all better than The Lion King, by the way.
It's debatable, but continue.
What about you know what the greatest Batman movie of all time is?
The Dark Knight.
That's the one with the Joker, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that
Without
movie.
question.
Yes, I mean, we're going to agree on that. I love that movie.
That's incredible.
The Joker,
R.I.P.
Heath Ledger plays the greatest Joker of all time.
Yep.
You know, nobody can touch that Joker performance. Not even Joaquin Phoenix. I did not like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
I thought it was a very interesting movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's not like the same. It's not a Batman movie, though.
He did not make the Joker cool. He made the Joker like a freak. What do you think, Ralph?
I think he is a freak.
Space Asian guy.
A space aging guy, yes.
No, not a space Asian guy. A space aging guy.
A space aging guy.
Aging.
Definitely an aging guy. That's true.
No, a space age guy. Like, you're into that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Now comics and Star Wars. It's not a diss, man. I don't know how to explain it.
So, I'm right there with you, Dave. I thought Joaquin's performance was unique.
Okay. I'm glad that you feel that way. So, you remember the character Bane?
Of course.
Can you do a Bane voice?
No.
I can't.
You can't do a Bane voice?
Go ahead and try it here.
You know, I can hear it in my head. Welcome to Batman is going to be killed today. I am going to rip the horns off the top of your head and fill your brain with honey.
That's actually pretty close.
That's not bad.
I will crush you. I know no pain.
It looks a little painful for you, though.
It is painful. Talking like a freak. It's really. I'm not going to be honest with you. Plus, you gotta kind of hear it in your head, and then you gotta push it out there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you gotta it takes a lot of. I mean, my talents are just through the charts. Not only am I a voice actor, I'm a.
I love that this particular podcast is going to be the launching of Dave's next career in voice acting. This is perfect.
I would love to be a voice actor, Ralph. I would have no problems in my life if that was the case.
I love it.
But seriously, though, I mean, because the kickoff voice, I really love my professional welcome to the podcast voice. That's a lot of, I really love that.
You should do that
voice.
more often.
The problem is that if I did that more, I would just have a flock of beautiful women chasing me everywhere I
of course.
went, and I've got to be careful
problem.
of that.
It's a big
The
problem.
voice,
Yeah.
the voice,
No, without a doubt.
like the ladies' man. Ring, ring, ring. It's a lady. Do you know the ladies' man?
No, I have no idea what you're
I
talking about.
think that's a little past his generation.
You don't know the ladies' man? Ralph, do you know the ladies' man?
I do. Yes.
The ladies' man is an SNL skit.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of SNL. Not my cup of tea, I guess.
I feel like he's judging us.
I don't know. SNL was like the thing before we had video games. We
This
had
is true.
SNL, we had Arsenio Hall,
Mm.
we had Eddie Murphy, we had Martin. Do you remember the show Martin?
No. See, now we have Netflix and Amazon Prime and Disney Plus.
I feel like eating the microphone and drowning myself in microphone foam today. The show Martin. Listen, Ralph, you've
Yes.
seen the show Martin.
Absolutely.
The show Martin is one of the greatest shows of all
It's
time.
terrific. It's
You
hilarious.
can literally watch Martin episode after episode after episode and never stop.
It's
okay. I don't know what Martin is, but I believe it. Must be good.
Dang it! I might have to execute Scott. I'm just kidding.
You know what's
All right.
interesting about all the things we mentioned, Dave, like the SNL sketch and everything? All of this stuff predates the release of The Lion King, which means that everything changed and got worse once The Lion King was released.
Y'all can be haters all you want.
Okay, at least we agree that The Dark Knight is awesome. And listen, we are like 6 minutes into our show. We've only begun to broach the topic of honey recipes.
That's right.
We know that the Oregon Ducks' favorite drink is mead. We're going to find out what that is a little later on in the show. So if you're tuning in and you want to know what the Oregon Ducks' favorite drink is and how it's made, we are going to talk about that at the end of the show.
Some propaganda there that I don't know.
That is 100% propaganda. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you right now.
Yep.
That's 100% propaganda. Thank you for being honest on the show. We tell no lies here. All right. So listen, honey is so important, and I just love honey, and I think that, you know, because this is Teach Me Bees, because we're coming to the holidays, just like Scott said, it's really cool to just share some recipes and some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Did you get this from your mom? Is this your mom's cookbook?
No, this is not.
Is this
So
your wife's
all
cookbook?
No, not at all. All of the recipes that we got here today that we're going to share with you is from the Beekeeper's Bible. So it's a book.
Really?
Yep.
This is the
Phenomenal book.
Beekeeper's Bible?
Beekeeper's Bible.
Wow. Okay.
If you're watching on video, there you
Beekeeper's
go.
Bible. Wow.
Great book. Got a lot of good recipes in the back section.
What's the curry looking soup there?
So that we got a curried honey sweet potato soup.
God, that looks good.
It looks incredible.
It looks incredible.
There.
Can we get a picture of this up here for our
we
people on
can
the show?
and we'll put.
Oh my
we'll put
word!
some
I mean,
pictures
is
in
that
here.
just mouth-watering? You know what I'm thinking of right now? A bowl of this soup.
That.
I'm thinking of some hot bread at the table,
I prefer a biscuit.
wrapped
but yeah.
in a little napkin.
Hmm.
Some soft, real butter, and I want to take that warm piece of bread, piping hot piece of bread, burning your fingers almost.
Yeah.
I want to tear it open. I want to lather it with butter, and then I want to dip it inside of this Curry's honey sweet potato soup.
I mean, it looks incredible.
That may be the last meal I eat.
It looks incredible. So
That's all I'm just going to say right there. That looks
So-
incredible. So how do we make it?
let's describe it a little bit here.
All right.
So, preheat your oven to 350 and place a heavy baking sheet in the middle of the oven to heat. In a large bowl, toss the sweet potatoes with 2 tablespoons of the oil, the curry powder, and dark honey, and stir to coat the sweet potato pieces. We're going to put links to the full recipes in here. So we're not going to read all the ingredients. It's a little in depth there, but
It's a little in depth. And, you know, next time, depending on how popular this is, we may just cook a meal.
we could potentially cook a meal
We could cook a meal.
live
Are you going to
on
wear
Teach
your
for
bee
Bees.
suit when we cook a meal?
with an apron.
That's good. I just want to make sure that you're properly
You know,
covered.
it's a white bee suit. I wouldn't want to ruin it, you know, because I'm getting crazy in the kitchen, you know? So you're going to stir in your garlic, your ginger, your chili. Spread the sweet potatoes and the flavored oil and spices on the hot baking sheet and roast for 15 minutes.
Gosh, when you read that, I just get hungry.
Well, you're gonna,
Ralph, don't fall over.
you're going to be
Don't fall over in
hungry,
the chair, Ralph.
real hungry by the end of this episode.
I'll run out and get us some.
Turn the sweet potatoes on once, cook for 10 to 15 minutes until they are soft and then cool. Meanwhile, heat the remaining 2 tablespoons of oil in a nonstick skillet and add the onion. Cook over low heat for 20 minutes or until the onion is soft and translucent.
Folks, I'm going to
That's a
need you
great
to
word.
get a non-stick skillet, and I'm going to need you to carefully heat the butter and melt it. I'm getting pretty excited over here.
Yeah, I can tell.
The disappointment is we're talking about food for like a half an hour. We're not going to eat.
Yeah, so. But it's great coming at you guys.
That is awesome. So listen, yeah, I'm just
Transfer the cooked
You know.
onion and sweet potatoes along with the sticky contents of the baking sheet into a food processor. I'm sure you could do a different method.
I'm visualizing that right now.
Add half the stock. Process until well combined.
Well
Blend
combined.
that thing up.
Well combined. All right. Well,
Add
I'm
remaining
thinking about what
stock
well combined means.
And coconut milk. Pulse again until
Coconut
smooth.
milk.
And return the soup
Did you
to
just
a
say the word
clean
pulse?
sauce pan. I did. I'm reading straight from the Beekeeper's Bible.
You just said the word pulse.
Yep. Pulse again, like hit the button.
Pulse skin.
Pulse again.
Pulse again. Okay.
Now, I don't know. Season it to taste with salt and pepper. Grate and gently reheat.
We are quickly moving on from whatever was going on with the skin. I don't know.
Yep,
I mean, I'm just
we're-
talking about the recipe here. We are not
We're
going
moving
anywhere.
past it.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
This show is
That's
off the
how you
rails.
have
The show is
curried-
off the rails.
honey sweet potato soup.
God, that sounds good.
It.
Where can I order this if I don't want to make it?
I don't know. Panera might have it. I'm just guessing.
Panera?
I don't know.
Let's talk about Panera bread for a second.
I enjoy Panera bread.
Are you a Generation Z or a millennial?
Millennial.
As a millennial, that sounds like something you would enjoy. I, on the other
Okay.
hand, do not like Panera bread. And I will share with you the reason why. It's overpriced.
That's true.
For the quality of the food that you receive, it is overpriced. And let me tell you
But
how I define quality in food. Okay?
because all of the recipes today are quality.
Yes, they are. That's very true. Here's what quality is all about. Anytime you go to a restaurant, most often the dish that comes out warm or cold or however it's prepared from the restaurant
Mm-hmm.
is usually pretty good to very good. Yeah, I mean, I get it. There's going to be the times you go and you get a meal that's bad, right? But for the majority, when you go to a restaurant, when the food is fresh and it's cooked and it comes out, it's typically good.
Okay.
The test for quality food is, can it come home? Can it go into the refrigerator? Can it sit till morning? Can it be reheated and taste better than what it tasted like at the time of purchase? If your food can survive this test, it is incredible food.
Well, no salad can survive that.
You don't see me eating a lot of salads, homie.
Just saying.
I'm just gonna
Panera's
say-
got good salads.
I'm just going to say, down in the hood, we don't have no salad.
Veggies are good for you, y'all.
Veggies are good, but let me tell you something that they've done. They don't make vegetables cheap.
No.
So if you're growing up with not a lot of income like I did, when you go to the food bank, they don't give you any vegetables. You know what they give you?
Cans.
Cans,
Which you could get canned vegetables, but
You
they're
may.
not that great.
but they're not really vegetables. They're alien vegetables. You know, you're going to get lots of boxes of powder and things that are recooked with water. So, what I'm going to say is that I agree with you that vegetables are healthy, but I will also tell you that sometimes if the food is prepared incredible, the vegetables are actually good the next day.
Potentially.
Ralph, you are a proclaimed foodie.
Yes.
Is there any truth to what I've said, or is it complete propaganda?
No, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly that if the vegetables are prepared well, in other words, at the restaurant, your asparagus is still nice and crispy. You know, it's got a little crunch to it.
And
It's not saggy and soggy.
And what about the leftover test?
The leftover test is accurate. I would say the only things that don't do well the next morning are like steak. You don't want to reheat steak. Of course, I never bring steak home from a restaurant.
Yeah, you finished that
I
bad
eat the
boy.
whole thing. And I would say maybe a burger because the bun gets soggy. But a lot of other dishes, specifically your pasta dishes, a lot of your soups and other dishes like that. Even chicken reheats well as long as you don't over reheat it and reheat it slowly. So yeah, I agree.
Now, I'm going to share one thing with you that my wife is thinner than I am. I'm basically 3 of her. I eat a lot of honey. But here's the deal. When we go out to a restaurant and we get steak, we actually share the steak. We cut it in half.
That's great.
Yes, because we're being conscious of how much food we're consuming.
Healthier.
When I was 21 years old, I could eat like 5 plates of food and I didn't gain a pound. At this particular time in my life, I eat 3 plates of food and I gain 15 pounds. It's completely, I don't understand why it happens. But I'm not going to go there today. What I'm talking about is that my wife does not eat all the steak. She will bring half of the steak home, even if she only had half of the steak. So like a quarter of it is left over. So I'm going to tell you, Ralph, that I do the take-home test with steak.
Oh, wow.
And I will tell you this, that a very well-prepared, well-cooked steak can taste absolutely incredible the next day.
That's great.
From the Metropolitan Grill, I have had a steak that tasted incredible the next day. And from El Gaucho in Seattle, I have had a steak that tasted absolutely incredible the next day. Outside of that, all the steaks I've ever taken home, you're right, they have not been there. They have not been good. But those 2 restaurants, however they're preparing their steaks and their meats, have always been phenomenal the next day.
Shout out. If you want to sponsor us, let us know.
Yeah, we talk about food. Okay, so listen, we picked an appetizer. I think we picked the right one. We've got a main dish. So out of our main dishes that are honey driven, we've got honey roast ham. We've got lemon and honey glazed chicken breasts. We've got honey balsamic salmon fillets. We've got Chinese sesame and honey beef stir fry.
All of them
My
sound incredible.
God, I mean, they do. Like,
which one do you want to go over?
which
We
one?
probably won't go over all of them.
All right, Ralph, which one's your favorite?
You know, it's the season. So like on Christmas Eve, we're going to have a ham. So why don't we talk about the ham? A lot of people have
The
ham around
classic-
Christmas
Okay,
time.
Ralph's vote is the ham. Scott, what's your vote?
I'm always a chicken kind of guy. So I'd probably go chicken. Or
So
salmon.
you're going for the chicken breast.
But my book's open to honey roast ham too.
Okay.
So
And the interesting thing is I'm going Chinese sesame and honey beef stir fry. I mean, for some reason that just sounds
just
off the
calling to
freaking
you.
charts.
This morning, huh?
Too.
So
Yeah.
I think since we all chose something different,
we can quickly hit them up.
maybe we should go with honey balsamic salmon fillet since nobody chose it.
All right. Sounds good. We'll go there.
I mean, that's kind of a disappointment to me, but you know, for the sake of equality, and we are an equal opportunity employer, so you know,
I mean, but does that picture not look incredible?
actually, it does look incredible.
Okay.
You got to throw that bad boy up. for the audience to see. Oh my goodness, honey
Look
is
at
so
that.
wonderful. And listen, all of this is made possible because of the wonderful bees and the amazing beekeepers that keep this food. So, we want to keep this real with honey. We want to keep it real with bees. We want to keep it real with pollination. And it's just absolutely incredible what our bees do
We
for
hope
us.
this episode, and we'll read some more foods here in a sec. We hope that this episode maybe inspires you to either make one of these meals or explore what you can do with honey in the kitchen. Buy more, and it's the festive season.
You may be able to
So-
take honey to other parts of the house as well.
You might be able to. You know what? You can take it to the living room for the football game, and you can make a great dip with it. You can serve it with bread. You know what? You can make one of these recipes and serve it, host it.
You know
for-
what I kind of feel
for the
like is
football
going
game.
on right now? I kind of feel like I'm Madonna, and I'm just like this wild creature that's on the call. And I feel like I'm hanging out with Britney Spears, just trying to stay in check, get in between the lines, but can occasionally go off the rails.
Did you just call me Britney Spears?
I mean, I refer to myself as Madonna.
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know how
we
I feel about that.
Ralph is Cher.
It's time for a costume change.
Wouldn't that be something? Honey balsamic salmon fillets. All right, this stuff looks incredible. I'm going to read how to make it. You're going to want to wipe the salmon dry with a paper towel and place in a shallow
it dry.
dish.
Wipe it dry.
Skin side
Wipe
down.
it dry. Skin
Side on the pan.
side on the pan. Ow! It just sounds painful, man. Skin side down
Well,
on the pan.
It's not the fish.
Yes, I mean, I'm just imagining my hand.
Well, don't think about your hand. Think about a fish. As a man who has caught fish in the Puget Sound and put them on there, love it. Whisk the honey with the vinegar
Are
and
you talking about me or
super
you?
fine sugar and spoon over the fish.
Have you been fishing?
Yeah.
Are you a fisherman?
Beginner. It's winter right now, and river fishing in the winter, it's cold, miserable. You don't catch a lot.
I am a
I
fisherman.
don't like that a ton, but I do like going out in the sound.
I have caught a fish almost as big as my body.
What kind of fish?
A grouper
I'm
out
not-
of South Florida.
Wow.
I caught
Off a boat, probably.
yes, off of a boat.
Okay.
Yeah. I
I
caught
have not gone boat fishing.
I
I've
caught
only
a
done
grouper.
off the shore.
I don't know, 35, 40-pound grouper.
Wow.
I got pictures of it.
You should show me later. Okay, so after you whisk the honey with the vinegar and super fine sugar, put it over the fish. Heat the oil in a large non-stick skillet over high heat. When the oil is hot, add the fish, skin side down, and cook for 4 to 5 minutes until the skin is crisp and the salmon is nearly cooked through. Then you're going to preheat the boiler to high. Spoon any remaining honey and mixture over the salmon. Place in the pan place the pan under the grill for 2 minutes or until the fish is cooked through. So I'm assuming that means oven. Put that bad boy in there for 2 minutes. And then serve it. And this particular picture has scallions sprinkled over the top. I don't know about you, but I've actually put honey on my salmon before. It is incredible. Try it.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm really impressed with what you put together today because
Thanks.
outside, eating honey on food, my favorite thing in the world, I love to go to Popeye's Chicken. Popeye's Chicken?
Is good.
Okay.
I have conflicted feelings about chicken sandwiches. Continue. We don't need to
Good.
go down this road.
Because I wasn't talking about chicken sandwiches. I was talking about a chicken breast. I love
Okay.
2 chicken breasts with 2 jalapenos, a side of mashed potatoes, a side of macaroni and cheese, a side of red beans or rice, and I like 2 biscuits with a ton of butter and covered in honey. For me right there, that is the perfect meal.
Do you just eat the jalapeno whole, like seeds and all, and just like put it in your mouth?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is it like sliced, like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
jalapeno
yeah.
popper? Or
Yeah.
this is interesting.
So you take a bite of my mouth is actually watering right now. You take a bite of your chicken.
Mm.
It's so moist, it's so tender, and then you take a big bite of your jalapeno. You eat your jalapeno and your chicken together.
I bet it's a great combo. So I've just never done it in that way. Like I've had jalapeno and chicken on pizza.
All I
It's
can
great.
say is that I have realized that due to your youth, There is a lot of things on this show you have yet to experience. That's why I said I'm like Madonna and you're like Britney Spears.
Okay.
And then we got the old man over there. I mean, gosh darn it. We got Cher over there.
I'm the aging diva.
The aging diva. Ralph, what year were you purchased in?
I was purchased in 1972.
1972. Okay, so holy smokes, Ralph, you're 51.
Yes, sir.
Is that okay to say on the show?
Totally fine.
All right, so we don't have to edit that out later.
Nope.
Yeah, we're
So
good. We all know
for
Ralph's
your-
age now.
So when are you 52?
May.
Got a
Okay,
little
so
bit
you
to
got
go.
a May birthday. Madeline has a May birthday.
Aw. Madeline's great.
Yeah, she is a sweetheart. Madeline is my daughter. For all of you who do not know, she is a sweetheart.
How old is she?
She's 9. I hope she stays sweet forever. Side dishes. I'm going to get off of that topic quick. Side dishes. Honey roast squash with wild rice stuffing. And then number 2 is endive, pancetta, and honey broiled fig salad. You know, I'm going to be honest with you that if I had to choose one of those, I'm going with number 1.
Definitely.
Number 2 is
I think-
cool. Just, I don't like having to pronounce words like pancetta. And I
Yeah.
think I absolutely crushed the word pancetta on this show
Great job, cuz.
because I can
Good luck.
pronounce any word in the world. Listen, I'm going to be giving a speech at the Snow and Ice Management Association. Shout out to Western at the annual symposium in Pittsburgh. And typically the board chair, which I will be, has got to, do the award ceremony. And there's all these awards that are given out, and you read somebody's first and last name, and you have to
Don't butcher
announce
it.
them as they come up. Well, listen, I mean, that's like, that's like insane because at the end of the day, there could be like 50 awards. If there's 50 awards, dude, there's some crazy funky last names. I mean, do you ever wonder why I call you Scott the Beekeeper? I'm just kidding. You don't have a difficult last name.
It's not that hard.
But there is some really hard last names like Lebowski.
You seem to do great with it.
I know that's because it's refined in my memory. But imagine reading Lebowski for the first time.
I hope you look at the list ahead of time.
I want
Circle the ones that are gonna be
every
challenging.
last name spelled phonetically.
You should request that ahead of time.
I want the phonetical spelling. Ralph, what do you think about that?
Absolutely. My dad was a public speaker for years, and he always felt the same way. He had notes on notes and notes on his papers with pronunciation of names.
So we crossed that bridge. Thanks, Ralph. All right.
Let's get back to the sides.
Honey
here.
roast squash with wild rice roughing. This just sounds amazing. I just want to lay in the center of this and eat
Yeah,
it.
you want-
So
Let me turn there.
now these are your favorite recipes because it looks like
There's a
ton
bunch
of
in here.
recipes
I tried
in
to
here.
narrow it down to, frankly, what I thought was good. If
So,
you don't like what I
we are
per se
eating
like,
off of
there's
Scott's palate.
a ton of recipes.
I was wondering
this
why
book,
this felt so millennial.
because we know how to eat.
I was wondering why there was no real food on here. This is like when you go out to dinner and you're like, oh man, that was such a fantastic meal, and you ate as much as you could, and you're on the way home and you look over at your wife and you're like, Taco Bell? Yeah. Let's do it. All right, cool. Oh crap, it's 11:30. Taco Bell's closed. Jack in the Box. You drive to Jack in the Box, the line has 250 cars in it. It's okay. You're going to do an hour wait at Jack in the Box at midnight. Have you ever done that?
I've never waited that long for fast food.
Okay.
No, sure.
That brings up an issue. That means to me, I will just say that you have never left the bar at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m., depending on where you're at, and you have had a hard night of drinking and partying, and you just need some food, and the only thing that is on your mind is Jack in the Box 2 tacos for 99 cents, what it used to be, or
Not
you know,
now.
The ultimate cheeseburger. Come on, Ralph. Are we here on this or no? Am I in my own? I'm on my
Totally
own.
here on this. I'm from the Midwest, though. So have you heard of White Castle?
I've heard
Yes,
of White
I've heard of
Castle.
White Castle. The first time I had a White Castle burger, I cried.
Yeah.
Was it that good?
It's just small.
It's really small.
Ah.
So what we would do is do a sack of White Castle burgers, like after 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And back in the Midwest, they're open 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So that is helpful.
Nice.
It's
Either
drinking
that or-
food.
Either that or Denny's, because after midnight,
Denny's,
Denny's,
yep.
menu
Classic.
changes and it's all just pictures. So you can just point to what you want.
Pictures. That's awesome.
It's-
And I will just say that I have not had a drink in 15 years, so I do not currently drink. But when I was drinking,
That late night Taco Bell run.
yeah, because this is food that is awesome for the dinner party. It looks beautiful. It tastes beautiful. It's wonderful. There is no substance, and you need to go get a gut-wrenching bacon cheeseburger that's dripping with all sorts of things that are bad for you. Praise the Lord and thank you, Jesus. Let's talk about this side.
All right. Honey roast squash with wild rice stuffing. Depending on how big you make this, it could be in Maine. But preheat your oven to 400. Using a spoon, scoop out and discard the seeds from the squash. And place the 4 halves, cut side up, on the heavy baking sheet. So you got to cut them. Whisk together 3 tablespoons of the oil with the honey and brush this mixture over the cut sides of
Wow.
the squash.
It's tasting good.
Spoon any remaining mixture into the hollow left by the seeds. Roast in the center of the oven for 30 to 35 minutes until tender. Meanwhile, bring a large saucepan of water to a boil and add the rice. Cook for 35 to 40 minutes until tender. I got a rice cooker.
Who
Use
does
that
the
bad
cooking
boy.
in your house? You or your wife?
We split depending on the day.
Okay.
And what's going on.
So normally I would have some kind of remark about that, but I actually love cooking.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it.
I find
Not every day.
I
Some
find-
days it's like
I find cooking
I'm
to
over
be
it,
very
but-
relaxing.
yeah, I enjoy it.
Very relaxing.
So heat the remaining oil in a large non-stick skillet over medium heat until sizzling. Then add onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic, and chili. And
All right,
fry
well,
over medium heat,
We got to
stirring
bring this thing in for a
occasionally
landing.
for 15 to 20 minutes until the vegetables are tender. Remove heat and add the cranberries, rice, mascarpone, and herbs. Season well, stir it together, and then you have your honey roast squash with wild rice stuffing.
That was awesome. That is a long recipe. That is a big side dish. I'm very
is.
excited.
It's a lot.
I feel like
Enjoy
we've done
it.
a good job here. Listen, we got to bring this thing in for a landing. We don't want our audience bailing on us. Dessert honey scones. I'm just gonna call it honey scones. Everything I
Yeah.
love honey scones. Honey scone. We know what a scone is. We know what honey is.
Put it on. Put the honey on the scone.
Put the honey on the scone.
It's great.
I mean, it's incredible. Enough said. Drinks. So the favorite drink of the Oregon Ducks is mead. What in the world is mead?
Mead is a honey infused wine.
It actually sounds pretty cool.
It does. I've not yet had it, but I'm going to
Now
have
that
some
it's
and
the
try it.
official drink of the Ducks,
Sure. Yep.
we need to
Whatever.
put it in their water bottles.
You know what? I don't think that's what they need to beat the Huskies. They need a little something different. They need to pay attention more. Not pay attention.
All right, and I'm personally going to go with this honey eggnog. Sounds
Good or bad?
off the hinges.
Okay.
I mean, I love eggnog.
I'm not an eggnog guy. Some people might be and are. So try a honey
it's
eggnog.
an age thing.
Well, my wife likes
It is.
eggnog, so I don't know.
Her father is 62.
My dad's probably similar age, so don't know how that works.
Your dad is 62 too?
Something close to
I
that.
didn't even know you had a dad.
He's not 62. He's a little bit younger than that.
I thought you were just dropped here from a ship.
Well, it wasn't an immaculate conception. So,
Well, okay, that's a bummer. No, I'm just kidding. I know, I
so
know
these are a
we all
bunch of
have
honey
dads.
recipes. We'll put some links in the description.
Eggnog.
Try these things out over the holidays, for the upcoming football games, on your Sundays, whatever. Try these things. Honey is very versatile for cooking and for enjoyment. So we just wanted to give out some recipes and things that you might want to try.
You know what's funny? So this whole age thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, Scott, you're like 24. I'm just kidding. I know he's 26. But it's like, you can tell it kind of gets on his nerves a little bit, right? You can just see it in his face. Okay. But here's the thing, like sometimes, because I'm middle-aged, so, I'll have a conversation with somebody who's older than me, and they do that same thing to me all the time. It's like, it's just like, and it annoys the crap out of me too, man. It's like, hey, listen, I'm in my 40s, man. I ain't no kid. What are you talking about? But people who are in their 60s and 70s, they're like, oh, you don't know nothing. You're just a stupid kid. You're only 45 years old, whatever it is. So, just let you know, that does run downhill, and I experience it on a regular basis. So don't worry.
It's okay.
It just happens. And when you look as beautiful as I do, I mean, look at that hair. Gosh, I mean, incredible. Look at that forehead. It's immaculate. Look at that face. Just
I did want to address one thing that we promised we would address with our audience.
Yes, we're going to get there. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do people eat bees or brood?
Yes.
They do.
People do eat bees and brood.
And they
typically not here in America. However, I did a little bit of research.
They eat it all over the world.
Yep. And in different development stages of the bee, so larvae to adult bee, most don't eat adult bees, but it is a delicacy in some places. So they'll eat a lot of larvae. Where might this happen, you ask? There are a few places. Yep.
China.
Yep. The Aboriginal people of Australia. The Hazda people of Tanzania. Mexico.
Thailand.
Yep. Cambodia.
And should we do it together?
Sure.
The
Philippines. So in Asia, it's a delicacy in some places, and some places and other locations around the world. So people do eat bees and brood.
Wow.
But we don't recommend it on this episode.
We don't recommend it. Listen, that was a fantastic show. It was absolutely incredible. I had so much fun learning about recipes and bees.
You're going to have honey for lunch, huh?
All sorts of things. I'm going to drink this whole entire jar of honey. I'm just going to take it and just get it down the hatch. And it's going to be a good time. Is that funny to you? My insides are going to get stuck together.
Yeah, they are. You're going to have a good time for 10 minutes.
Hey, what's going on with that guy? He's jumping around the room like a jackal. As we bring this competitive show to an end, I just want to thank Scott the Beekeeper for his incredible work today in preparing these honey-driven recipes. I want to thank Ralph for his input and his age. And I want to say that everybody who likes this show, please give us a like. Please give us a share. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and anywhere where it's social. I'm Dave Wescott. Follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere where it's social. We are here every Thursday at
10 a.m. Pacific.
10 a.m. Pacific, every week, every Thursday. We are as consistent as the U.S. government.
As consistent as the flow of honey.
We are as consistent as the U.S. government when it comes to taking your taxes. There's some serious consistency there.
Very much. Every year.
That's right. There's two things you can be certain of. Death and taxes. That's a wrap.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.